Hello and welcome. Today we're taking a closer look at Europe, not the postcard version, but the real experiences of immigrants and travelers who face unexpected challenges. This isn't about blame, it's about understanding the world through different eyes. Whether you're planning a trip, moving abroad, or just curious, these stories matter. Let's pack some empathy and awareness for the journey ahead. Ready? Let's begin. Our first stop is Hungary, a nation nestled in the heart of Europe, a land of contrasts and compelling narratives. A country of stunning architecture and rich history, where echoes of empires past resonate through its grand boulevards and ancient castles. The architectural marvels tell tales of resilience, innovation, and cultural fusion. Budapest dazzles tourists with its thermal baths, vibrant nightlife, and the majestic Danube River flowing through its heart. The city is a magnet, drawing visitors from across the globe to experience its unique charm and energy. But for immigrants, Hungary can feel like a fortress, a place where the welcome mat seems perpetually rolled up, and the path to integration is fraught with challenges. Strict border controls, a visible manifestation of the nation's stance on immigration, stand as the first hurdle, and tough immigration policies, meticulously crafted and rigorously enforced, create a complex web for those seeking refuge or a new beginning. Create real barriers for those seeking a new life, turning dreams of safety and opportunity into a bureaucratic maze. The government's approach is designed to deter migration, prioritizing national security and cultural preservation above all else, making legal residency a daunting process, filled with endless paperwork, stringent requirements, and often a sense of hopelessness. For newcomers, support systems are limited, leaving many to navigate the complexities of a new society without adequate guidance or assistance. And the path to integration is filled with obstacles, from language barriers and cultural differences to systemic discrimination and social isolation. The public discourse often frames immigration negatively, fueled by political rhetoric and sensationalized media coverage, which seeps into daily interactions, creating an atmosphere of suspicion and unease for those perceived as outsiders. Many immigrants find themselves in limbo, caught between their past lives and an uncertain future, unable to fully settle or feel secure, constantly facing the threat of deportation or the reality of social exclusion. The psychological toll is heavy. The weight of displacement, the stress of navigating a hostile environment, and the constant fear of the unknown. Navigating bureaucracy and social suspicion can be exhausting, draining the hope and resilience of even the strongest individuals. While tourists enjoy the sights, basking in the beauty and hospitality of Budapest, immigrants face a much harsher reality, struggling to survive in a system that seems designed to keep them out. Not every encounter is negative. Amidst the challenges, there are welcoming Hungarians, individuals and organizations who extend a helping hand and offer a glimmer of hope. But the dominant narrative makes belonging difficult, creating a sense of otherness that is hard to overcome. Hungary's beauty hides a tough environment for outsiders, a stark contrast between the idyllic facade and the harsh realities faced by immigrants. The contrast between visitor and immigrant experiences is stark, highlighting the complexities of national identity and the challenges of integration. A country's true welcome is measured not by its monuments or landscapes, not just by smiles, but by its policies and attitudes towards those seeking a new home within its borders. It's about genuine acceptance and equitable treatment. For many, Hungary is a place of hope, a destination sought for safety, opportunity, and a chance to rebuild their lives, met with formidable resistance, a system that often feels impenetrable and unwelcoming. The journey here is about more than just crossing borders. It's a quest for dignity, security, and a sense of belonging. It's about finding acceptance, a place to call home, and the opportunity to contribute to a new society. Behind the postcard, the picture-perfect image of Hungary, there's a different story unfolding, a narrative of struggle, resilience, and the enduring human spirit. And it's one we need to see, to understand, and to address with compassion and a commitment to creating a more just and equitable world. Next, we head to Poland, a country rebuilt from adversity, proud and resilient. Tourists find history and hospitality, but for immigrants, the climate is complicated. Political shifts have made integration harder, especially for non-Europeans. While Poland welcomed Ukrainian refugees, others face isolation and suspicion. Media and politics often cast outsiders as threats, fueling invisible barriers. The government resists EU migrant plans, reinforcing a sense of exclusion. Discrimination can go unchallenged, making daily life a struggle for newcomers. Yet, many Poles and NGOs work to support immigrants, offering hope and solidarity. Poland is a nation wrestling with its identity, open-hearted in some ways, closed in others. For immigrants, resilience is essential. The journey here is about navigating both warmth and resistance. Understanding this duality is key. In Slovakia, the landscape is peaceful, but the immigrant experience is quietly tough. With little history of large-scale immigration, support systems are underdeveloped. Newcomers often struggle to find language classes, legal help, or jobs. Bureaucracy is slow, and without guidance, many feel lost. Socially, diversity is still a novelty, leading to exclusion, often unintentional, but real. Political rhetoric sometimes stirs tension, making integration harder. Economic opportunities are limited, especially without local connections. Success stories exist, but they require exceptional resilience. Slovakia's challenge isn't open hostility, but a lack of readiness for diversity. For immigrants, it's a journey of self-reliance in a society still learning to welcome difference. The beauty is real, but so are the hurdles. Here, the struggle is subtle, but significant. Finding community takes time and tenacity. Bulgaria, with its stunning Black Sea coastline and ancient historical sites, offers sun, history, and remarkable value for travelers seeking an affordable European experience. The country's rich cultural heritage and natural beauty draw tourists from around the globe, promising a memorable vacation. But while tourists enjoy the sights, for immigrants seeking a new life, the reality is often shaped by the harsh realities of economic hardship and the struggle to establish themselves in a new country. The challenges they face are often unseen by those on vacation. As one of the EU's poorest countries, Bulgaria presents significant economic challenges. Competition for jobs and access to essential services is fierce, creating a difficult environment for newcomers trying to find their footing. The demand often outweighs the available resources. Immigrants often find themselves at the bottom of the economic ladder, taking on the jobs that others avoid. They face limited support from the state and often find themselves in overcrowded asylum centers, struggling to navigate the complex bureaucratic processes. Integration programs designed to help immigrants adapt and thrive are scarce, leaving many to fend for themselves. This lack of support leaves many vulnerable and socially isolated, struggling to build connections and integrate into Bulgarian society. Economic anxiety, fueled by job scarcity and financial instability, fuels resentment within the local population. This resentment isn't always rooted in xenophobia, but often stems from a shared struggle for limited resources and opportunities. It's a competition born out of necessity. Discrimination, particularly against ethnic and religious minorities, remains a significant barrier to integration and equal opportunity. For expats who arrive with financial resources and established networks, life in Bulgaria can be quite pleasant, offering a comfortable lifestyle and access to beautiful scenery. But for those arriving with little or no savings and without a support system, the prospects are often bleak, marked by hardship and uncertainty. The gap between the personal warmth and hospitality of individual Bulgarians and the systemic challenges faced by immigrants is strikingly wide. Bulgaria's natural beauty, from the Rila Mountains to the Black Sea coast, is undeniable and captivating. But so too are the significant difficulties and obstacles that newcomers must overcome in their quest for a better life. The dream of building a better life in Bulgaria often proves to be much harder to realize than initially imagined, with many facing disappointment and frustration. Overcoming prejudice, navigating bureaucratic hurdles, and battling poverty is a daily battle for many immigrants striving to build a future in Bulgaria. Despite the challenges, for many, hope persists as they work towards a brighter future for themselves and their families. But the path to achieving that dream is steep, filled with obstacles and requiring immense resilience and determination. It's a place of stark contrasts, welcoming and beautiful on the surface, yet deeply challenging and complex underneath for those seeking to make it their home. The Czech Republic, a land steeped in history and brimming with architectural marvels, enchants visitors with its majestic castles and rich cultural heritage. From the sprawling Prague castle to the fairy tale town of Český Krumlov, the country offers a visual feast for the eyes and a journey back in time. However, beneath the surface of this enchanting facade lies a more complex reality. The Czech Republic's approach to immigration is notably cautious, reflecting a desire to preserve its cultural identity and social fabric. The system for visas and residency is often perceived as slow and selective, burdened by bureaucratic processes and extensive paperwork. Navigating this system can be a daunting task for newcomers, requiring patience and meticulous attention to detail. This deliberate pace and stringent criteria send a subtle message, one of tolerance rather than an enthusiastic welcome. It suggests a measured approach to integration, prioritizing careful consideration over open-door policies. Czech society can be polite and respectful, but also somewhat distant, particularly in initial interactions. Building meaningful connections can take time and effort. This is especially true toward those who don't speak Czech, as language proficiency is often seen as a key to integration and cultural understanding. Overcoming the language barrier is crucial for navigating daily life and fostering deeper relationships. Ultimately, successful integration depends heavily on the newcomer's ability and willingness to adapt to Czech customs, traditions, and social norms. Unfortunately, there is often limited formal support from the host society to facilitate this adaptation process, leaving many immigrants to navigate the challenges on their own. Breaking into established local circles and forming genuine friendships can be particularly tough. Czech social structures tend to be quite close-knit. As a result, many immigrants find themselves remaining perpetual guests, never fully integrated into the social fabric of the country. Furthermore, political rhetoric in the Czech Republic often links immigration to security fears and economic anxieties, contributing to a climate of suspicion and unease. This narrative reinforces an us versus them mindset, creating divisions within society and hindering efforts to promote inclusivity. Consequently, visible minorities may at times face unwanted attention, microaggressions, or even outright discrimination in public spaces. While Prague stands out as a more open and cosmopolitan city, boasting a vibrant international community and a more tolerant atmosphere, the overall national mood remains somewhat reserved and cautious when it comes to embracing diversity. Of course, positive stories of successful integration do exist, particularly among younger Czechs who are more open to multiculturalism and global perspectives. However, significant hurdles and challenges still remain for many immigrants seeking to build a new life in the Czech Republic. Therefore, the Czech welcome can be characterized as conditional, requiring considerable patience, unwavering persistence, and a willingness to navigate a complex and often challenging integration process. For immigrants who are determined to make the Czech Republic their home, genuine acceptance and belonging are indeed possible, but it's crucial to acknowledge that such acceptance is never fully guaranteed and often requires ongoing effort and adaptation. Ultimately, the journey of immigration to the Czech Republic is a testament to human endurance, resilience, and the unwavering pursuit of a better future. It's a beautiful country, filled with stunning landscapes and rich cultural experiences. But truly belonging takes dedicated work, a willingness to learn, and a commitment to building bridges with the local community. Italy dazzles with art, food, and warmth, but for immigrants, it's a land of contradictions. On the front lines of the migrant crisis, Italy's welcome shifts with politics and region. Initial compassion, especially in the south, often gives way to bureaucratic limbo and frustration. Asylum seekers can spend years in reception centers, unable to work or integrate. Public opinion is divided. Some offer solidarity, others, hostility fueled by economic fears. High unemployment makes immigrants easy scapegoats for deeper problems. The North and South differ in tolerance, adding complexity to the immigrant experience. Italy is capable of great generosity, but also exclusion and systemic failure. For immigrants, navigating Italy means facing both warmth and resistance. The bureaucracy is daunting, the social climate unpredictable. A shared meal can coexist with social tension. Here, hope and hardship walk hand in hand. The contradictions are real, and so is the struggle. Greece, famed for its hospitality, faces immense challenges as a gateway for refugees. Economic collapse and the migrant crisis have overwhelmed public services and resources. Islands like Lesbos are known for overcrowded, under-resourced camps. The asylum process is painfully slow, leaving many in limbo for years. Integration is tough. Jobs are scarce and many are forced into poverty. Compassion fatigue has set in, with frustration growing in some communities. Despite this, many Greeks and NGOs continue to offer help and hope. The spirit of philoxenia endures, but the strain is visible. For immigrants, Greece is rarely the safe haven they hoped for. The psychological toll is immense for both locals and newcomers. It's a country caught between tradition and crisis. The journey here is one of survival and resilience. The human cost is impossible to ignore. Our journey ends here, but the conversation continues. Thank you for looking beyond the surface and listening to these stories. Empathy and understanding are more important than ever. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing and joining our community. Travel safely, be kind, and see you next time. Bye.